Hello. There it goes. Hello. I did it. Thank you, microphone. Yay. I restarted my computer earlier today because I had an NVIDIA graphics driver update. That was fun. And so it reset my OBS settings. Anyway, hello. Hello and welcome in. This is the One Line of Code show channel thing. I see you, Disco. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a fantastic time. Yep, I see you. You're right there. There. I meant right there. That's you, right? No idea what I mean. Um, uh, um, oh my gosh. I found something fun, which is this little fairy garden looking scene that is up there. I'm gonna scoot it over some. There we go. I like that bit of it better. Anyway, so we've been playing around with a projecto named Financial Management Tracker, which is on my GitHub, and we've been doing some Blazor.net development, full stack type stuff. So we're going to continue doing that today, but I of course want to use some of this time to research an issue that I've been stuck on for, what is this now, 8 months, maybe 10 months. So I currently have an implementation for doing a customizable window, title bar, caption buttons, etc. Apparently, I can just use the Windows API to, there you are, to change the title bar without using Window Chrome. Like, this is the actual title bar updating. However, this might be a similar approach to, oh, that's what I need to do. This might be a similar a similar approach to something we tried before 10 months ago or so. And it's using this DWM set window attribute, which is tied to DWM API, which might not be available in Windows 10. So I want to look that up really quick. Is DWM from DWM API available in Windows 10 WPF apps? My guess is it's not. Well, this guide here, DWM set window attribute. It's kind of interesting that this one has int attribute, ref bool attribute value. And the thing that I found just used, where I put it, DWM set window with an int array attribute value, int attribute size. Oh, okay. So this is probably an overloaded method that if you have true or false, then it tells it whether or not to use dark mode. Versus the other version that tells it what color to change it to. Which again, I am seeing ref int attribute value as opposed to int array. And we're using this DWMA caption color. Hello, Mojo. Konnichiwa. Thank you for helping me check my maths. I are good at maths. And powers of 2. 1, 2, 4, 6. Okay. No. So we have two. We have the foreground color and the border color. So yeah, 34 would be the border of the window. 35 is the caption color. 36 is the text color. That's cool that we can update that. I'm going to do that too really quick, just to make sure that all of those work. So caption, text, and border. Suget. Oh, there it is. This is what I was looking for the whole time anyway. Is currently only supported on Windows 11. And I'm guessing it's because the DWM set window attribute, which I was actually looking for the Microsoft docs for it, is only available in Windows 11. The API method. That's what? That's still really confusing because this is referencing Windows 7 and earlier. How do I see overloaded values? Or overloaded method names? That's confusing. Well, looks like it's not as straightforward to test out what I wanted to test out. So I'll get that off the screen. We will head back over to the project, the Thunderton Projecto. It's just so easy to do. Like you even get the contrast change automatically for the foreground text. So I wouldn't even need to set the foreground text or anything. I just want a way to get this thing to work in Windows 10. Man. And it's so hard to test it too. Um, I don't know if there's a flag that you can set so that the app acts like it's running on Windows 10, or if I just need to get a Windows 10 machine to test it. Kind of like Vindictus. Or people should just stop using Windows 10 so that I don't have to program against it. But that's just being lazy. Anyway, hi everyone. Hello again. I'm back. We are back to the Financial Management Tracker application. It is right here. You have mail. Oh. Oh. Oh, that makes sense. Let me do that. I'll try it. I'll do it. Turn this off. Um, it's not letting me. No, it does not let me. Um, the email. Oh, the email. B and pasta. Maybe if I just turn off the phone one. Let's just turn off the phone one. Okay, I removed the phone one. Whatever that means to you. For those of you that are listening, it doesn't even matter, does it? I'll give it a try on my phone. Hello. Trying to click here. Nope. Did not work on my phone. Okay. No dice. What app blocks config info? Oh, this stuff. So this is a plugin called NoDocs. NoDocs. Oop, only two X's, not triple X. Created by our very own community member and fellow streamer Thindle. He wanted a way to be able to mask out values from XML, JSON, uh, the other one, YAML, one presenting. And so that's what we have here. That's what you're looking at. Yeah. It's a great extension. So you just go to extensions, manage extensions, look for NoDocs, and you'll see it. Don't dox yourself. It's really, really good for streaming and or showing clients dev processes, I guess. People that you don't want seeing your secrets. So for example, if I right click on this and go to manage user secrets, if I right click on an actual project and go to manage user secrets, you will see that it's currently fully masked. There's a new bug. I need to let them know there's a new bug. So you should still be able to see the key, but not the value. So for example, this should say connection strings most likely. And then this would, well, you know what? I don't have, oh, because it's commented out. There is not a bug. But this is my local SQL server anyway, so I'm okay with showing my secrets. But, oh, it's so hard to remember how to turn it back on. There we go. Oh no, there is a bug, which is turning the no docs visibility back on. Yeah, sure, save. So this is what it would normally look like for JSON that is well structured. And as you saw, if it is poorly structured JSON, it'll just mask the whole file because it's like better to be safe than sorry. But when it's well structured, then it only masks the values parts. But yeah, we're currently working off of local DB anyway, so I'm going to keep that commented out. And we were working on being able to modify existing transactions from the transaction history, which we added this column that has two buttons, handle edit, handle delete, or not handle edit and handle delete, just edit and delete. And then we created some CSS styling for it. Oops. Oh yeah. May as well hop over here. Where's this button? I did that so backwards. Okay. What I meant to do was hop down here, cd into find and man, wasm, server, down watch, and launch the app. Help me out here, app. Impasta. Copy you. Copy ku. And push the button. I know, phone. I know. One more try. Nope. That's just not working. Okay. Can you guys close your eyes for a really quick second? Thanks. Appreciate it. Did you solve the Blazor and WPF border issue? I did not. I did find a really easy thing to do on Windows 11. Hello Mulangi and hello Lasama. In Windows 11, you can just use, and I'll show it again because it's really, really quick. It's really simple. You can use the API to, the Windows API to use the desktop Windows Manager, DWM stuff, and just change the background color, text color, border color as you see fit without using Window Chrome. And that's my needs. It's just that it only works on Windows 11. I'm trying to open this. And this. And I will update that in a minute. I need to close you and you. And minimize you. And we're done with our super secret stuff. Back to the desktop. Okay, so just the really, 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 really quick overview of using the DWM, the Windows API. You use this DLL import for DWM API. Optionally, there was this preserve sig, which I have no idea what preserve sig does. No idea. And then you have these constants that you can interact with. I like all of my private fields to be private, even if they're constants, or to be listed as. And so to change the color, you get a handle to the window, set your color, convert your hex color to an integer, or just set your color as an integer if you know how to do that hex conversion in your head. And then create a new array with that color, and then call that method with the new color that you want, telling it which type, if it's going to be the caption color, border color, or what. And thank you so much for the follow, Latrine Annihilator. I hope you have not annihilated too many, because the world would be a very disgusting place without them. What? So anyway, this looks like this, or this is what it looks like, which is probably going to open on this screen over here. So the title bar color can change in the app as you click color. Yeah, it's so simple. The title foreground color will also adjust based off of the contrast automatically. But it's so easy, so fast. But when I tried it on my Windows 10 development machine, which is my work machine, it doesn't work. And then we found on stream a message here that says it's only available on Windows 11. Here it is. This code will change the appropriate color instantly and is currently only supported on Windows 11, because I don't think that the DWM API has this method in Windows 10. But the other weird thing that we saw was in the API for this method, there was a reference to a Windows 7 value that could potentially be set. Minimum supported client, Windows Vista and above. Oh my gosh. Can I take the DLL and ship it with the app? It's I don't know. I honestly don't know how to manage the Windows API stuff. So this is a part of Windows, of the OS. So I guess if there's a way to get access to it, I just don't know what executing permissions it would have, and I don't know. I don't know what all would need to be done in order to manually ship this. Yeah. But I am kind of curious because this says it's available in Windows 7 and above, and it's this DWM set window attribute hwind d word and then PV attribute. Yeah, so this D word is going to be the 34, 35, or 36, depending on if you're doing the border, background, title, or foreground. And then the actual attribute, a pointer to an object containing the attribute value to set. So I'm curious to try this though. I wasn't going to try it here, but I want to know if I can use this version here with, instead of int array, int attr value. You don't need to be public. And that way we just do the int only, which needs to be passed in as a ref. Yeah, needs to be passed in as a ref. And then size of this is going to be pretty much the same thing, size of int, because I know that this is an int. Okay, let's try it. Let's see if it still works here, and then I can try it in my Windows 10 machine if it still looks like it works. And it does look like it still works. Okay, I'm kind of excited to try this. Please bear with me a moment. See me containing my excitement. The new import signature looks like observe sig and ref int attrval, not int array, still size, and then you become ref color, and instead of array, just the int. Save, give it a shot. This would be so cool if this works. Because right now, again, I have, like Lasamat was talking about, I have window Chrome. And when you use window Chrome, there's a lot of extra stuff that gets added where, for example, the border of the window is now, or the resize handle area is super small and gets covered by the Blazor portion of the screen. Doesn't look like it worked. Color is the right color. And yeah, it's not working. Man, that would have been so easy if that just worked. Like, it's not throwing any exceptions or anything, but it's also not setting the title bar color. Dang it. Poop. That would have been so nice. Oh well, back to the app. Hmm. Rubber ducks don't ask questions. Rubber ducks just listen. So you're more of a muse than a rubber duck, in my opinion. Rubber duck 2.0. Rubber duck with AI. Twitch chat GPT, which is more useless than. No. You're extremely helpful and super nice. But anyway, um, yeah, the end. I still don't have an answer for an easy way to do title bar customization in Windows 10. That sucks. I thought this was so promising. So, we were working on handle edit and handle delete. Handle delete is going to be easy. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you are interested in helping out, this is the one for the method on in the Microsoft Docs, and then this is the one that I was using to write my code. But yeah, the overall goal is really just to be able to change the background color. I don't care about controlling the text color anymore because it looks like it will automatically adjust. And if it doesn't automatically adjust, then I will want to control the text color. I don't care about changing the button colors or button background colors or button hover colors. I just want to be able to change the control, the title bar, the non-client area background color. And that's it. Ow. And it must be supported on Windows 10. That's the only thing that's keeping me from being successful. We need to support Windows 10. And I don't want to use Windows Chrome because I currently am, and there are too many issues. ChatGPT had no answers for me. Bing had no answers with the chat functionality. And I've been doing research for since yesterday at minimum. So I got back to it yesterday. And I spent my workday doing research on just this topic. So sad, but true. Um, so I've been thinking, and that's dangerous when that happens. For our functionality, for editing this wonderful little window, oh, are you broken? No, it just took a while to, I don't know what. I don't know why that took so long. Okay, we have our control buttons. And the intent is to be able to click on it to either inline edit, which I don't think we're going to inline edit since there are different fields for different transaction types. Did I check H result on Win 10? Doc says if the function succeeds, it returns SOK. Otherwise, it returns H result error code. Do you know the value of S underscore OK? Because the result is negative 214702480 9. But if I cast it to a H result, maybe it's going to be something different. I cast it to a H result. SOK is just 0. Okay. Yo, Dano. How's it go, yo? Bro? Oh, duh. I have it here. And what is this? What do I have? 2? Help? Okay, you two go together. You're good to go. And I remember seeing somewhere that it captured H result in a way that we got something more meaningful. This comment, you are a Win32 programmer now, and there is a reason there are only like 3 of them alive, and they all work at Microsoft. This is true. Okay, common H result values. Yeah, I need to cast this to a H result somehow so that I can get one of those values. Because right now it looks like an overflowed int value. And I saw some error. Someone making a H result object to capture that value. I'm not finding it. It'd be a uint. Yeah, so maybe if I just cast or set it as a uint, we'll be fine. Then I'll get an actual value. Or not. Or it just won't compile because it's not a uint. It's only an int. Yeah, but I could have sworn that I saw something where you can actually get the H result struct value back. Anyway, the value that I'm getting is this number, which is not one of the values in the common errors. But there is a video. Are you a short video? 7 minutes. Let's get this thing. Oh, I won't be able to output that. Oh, Firefox. You guys should be able to hear that, right?
Welcome to the Inside Show. I'm Chad Beater.
And I'm Andrew Richards.
And today we're going to talk about H-results, H-result codes.
A type of error code, a standard that was produced as part of COM in the 90s. It's a way of fabricating an error code that has additional meaning. They separate the bits of the error code into different purposes, and particularly the bottom half is used for the code, like error 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the top 16 bits is used for the transport,
so
the
const
reason, the
value
subsystem.
cannot be converted
and then,
to int.
most importantly, the very top bit is used for severity. There's codes that you will see flying around on, error dialogs
I am getting
and stuff
this
like these.
value.
These are the very common ones that you will see. The ones with S on the front, and unfortunately this list is missing
Where did
S
they
underscore
go?
false, which is error code 1. They're successful. They're ways of portraying that I successfully made a function. And then all the E's are error. And then standard ways of erroring. Access denied, I don't have access to a file. Invalid argument, you asked me to do something I can't do. Bad parameters, that type of thing. Commonly you'll see not implemented as people generate their code, work in their code, and they haven't got around to writing that part of the code. You'll note that the errors have 8 on the front, and that's an important point because that's a bit that has meaning. And the other thing you'll note is in the middle here, these two hexadecimal bits in the middle
So not implemented
will have
is
varying values. Of note, the 0 values are the generic, just agnostic of API surface. They are just error codes, like I am failing. I have not defined an implementation.
Something that's kind of used across the system by everyone.
7 is very, very common and is listed in this list because it's common. 7 is the Win32 facility, and we'll talk about that very shortly. So you'll see 7 very, very commonly. The other one you will see commonly is 13 in hexadecimal, which is the CLR.NET. So what's it look like? As I said, we split up the 32 bits of number into kind of 2 big fields. We have the code, the bottom 16 bits.
So that's like the last 4 hex digits if you look in hex, right?
Yeah, so it'd be like the F1AB part of it, say, or specifically this last 4, these last 4.
So that's your error code.
And then we have facility, which because of some of these digits here which are reserved and not used, you kind of get some 0 pad, and also there's not that many facilities defined. And so loosely you can say it's the next 2 digits, it's these 2. Currently we don't have more than that many facilities defined, and so it's pretty safe to say that the next 2 are that. The next one, the 0, is not used, it's kind of reserved, and then the 8 is the last one that kind of matters.
Right.
The way that the 8 works is it comes from this very top bit.
Right.
The existence of that being turned on is the definition of error. So when bit 31 is turned on, it is an error. When it is turned off, it is success. The next one down is reserved. It actually has been morphed and used over time to represent warning. So the top bit is used for error.
Right.
The next bit down, 30, is used for warning. You can have a warning turned on and it being successful, because that's what a warning is, right?
Right.
So the way that they define success is if it's greater than 0 is success, or greater than or equal to 0 is success, and it's less than 0, it is failure.
In decimal.
In decimal,
right.
Well, in general, it's in signed.
In signed binary.
H result is a signed format, data type.
Right.
Right. So by turning on the top bit, you start going negative.
Right.
When you print it into decimal, this is why you commonly see negative 214 something something something. The negative 214, which is negative 2 billion, is caused by the 8-bit being turned on.
So if you're looking at it in hex, essentially these first 2 digits, you've got 4 possibilities: 0, 4, 8, or C.
Yes.
Depending on which of those bits is turned on, right? So 8 and C would be errors, either
Error or really
severe.
critical.
Yeah, right. Error or critical error. 8 would be error, C would be critical error. And then 0 and 4 would be success and sort of
And warning.
warning.
A successful warning.
0 would be success, 4 would be warning. Okay.
So
Okay, good enough for me. So the error that I'm getting would match up with where did the table go of common errors? I lost it. I just click on the link again. This one. Okay, so we're getting this one here, which is one or more arguments are invalid on the Windows 10 for the exact same method. And it's probably because the thing that it's looking for is whether, like the third argument that we saw in one of the examples was a Boolean as opposed to an int or an int array. Can I prove that? No. Nope. No clue. Again, I'm going to leave that for my own research because otherwise you're just going to hear me being really quiet while I try to read stuff quickly. And I generally don't absorb the information when I'm trying to read quickly because I am a slow reader and it takes me more effort to read as it is. Wow. So we are going to take another step forward with this. And so we're going to decide whether we're going to, yeah, like the thing that I was wanting to do is when you remove a pending transaction or a posted date from a transaction, it gives you a dialog currently that asks the question, are you sure you want to remove, are you sure you want to mark this transaction as pending? This will remove the posted date from the record. So then clicking on the X, currently, what are the chances that cancel is not actually hiding the window? Like, what I think just happened is it re-rendered and the show is still true somewhere. Oh my gosh, too many windows. Too many windows. I'm so lost. You there? But yes, what I think I might prefer instead of bringing up a full window is having this turn into a check or cancel. Probably a circle with a line through it to cancel. Maybe. So like when you click it, it'll change to the check mark to confirm or circle with cancel, circle with line through it to cancel out. Since we already have a dialog, I might just use that. But I would do the same thing here. Apple users have nightmares where they scream too many windows in their sleep. Yeah, I want to get this little issue fixed though, where it doesn't seem like when I push the cancel button, it is telling the underlying Boolean that is making this thing show that it should no longer show. So that would be transaction row, render row, confirm toggle pending window, handle cancel clicked, and show equals false. Oh, but I'm not calling show changed. Okay, that's what's happening. So I'm changing show equal to false, but I'm not doing the two-way binding. Hello, Vincent. I'm not doing the two-way binding step that also says if show changed has delegate return. No, not return. Here I can return though. Oh, dang it. But that means that this is now an async. Invoke async. I know what I'm doing. Okay, so for two-way binding to work on a component, you need to have both the parameter, and thank you so much for the follow vindicator. Hello and welcome to the Daily Code Fun, where we do Blazor web development, full stack development. We're currently working on a project called the Financial Management Tracker application, where you can manually track your own finances. At least that's the goal. But yeah, so for two-way binding to work on a component, you need both the parameter for the value that you want to do the two-way binding for, and an event callback parameter of the same type called that thing's name and then the word changed. And that will do some magic behind the scenes and automatically hook that up for you. And so when we were looking at this, you can see that I have at bind show to this value here. Without that two-way binding, I will show you what the value is in the UI. So this is without the two-way binding step. It should show up underneath each one of these, I think. Once it's finished building and running and running and so you should see a whole bunch of false, 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 false. Okay, so false, 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 false. And then I tell it, open up the dialog, and we can see true. And then when I hit cancel, it still says true because the two-way binding did not take effect. But when we turn two-way binding on, by invoking the method for that parameter being changed, then when we hit, then it needs to rebuild. Then when we hit cancel, we can see that now it actually took effect. So I won't get a re-render that will show the dialog again as if I had just called it. My bag. It's fixed now though. It's fixed. Go away. Shoo. Or should leave. I scared it. Okay, so anyway, point is, for now I'm going to use a dialog for all of this. Let's do the delete one first, where when you click the delete button, I would like a similar dialog to this that says delete. Are you sure? You crazy? that will remove the record from the transactions. We'll write the logic for soft deleting the transaction. And if you don't know what a soft delete is, stick around and you'll find out. If you do, then tell me that I'm doing it wrong. Okay, so that button was in the transaction history row, which is right here actually. Here's delete. Delete, we want another Boolean that will show delete, confirm delete dialog. Thank you for trying GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot is going to get a boost if you didn't know about it. GitHub Copilot is it is. It's going to be using ChatGPT, which would be crazy, which would be insane. They have two, is what the issue is for me. So distracted. So distracted. Oh my goodness. Let's stay on task. Once I install that. Okay, I'm on task. I don't think ChatGPT is any good for coding. It's like my colleague who can talk a big game and sound smart to the bosses, but very technical person knows that it's wrong. That is true. Simple. Simple. Thank you so much for the raid. Surprisingly, I was not lurking on your stream today. I didn't even know you were streaming. I was so busy with all of my other stuff. But hi, I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a good break. I'm assuming you're taking a break and that's why you raided. So thanks for bringing the raid. But I kind of agree with you, Lasamat. But I also think that it's a pretty good tool for when you aren't quite sure what you're looking for. For example, I used it for figuring out some of the Windows API stuff for WPF app, and it gave me some ideas, even though they were not correctly implemented. It gave me bad code. I, as a somewhat seasoned developer, was able to spot, hey, here's some things that are not quite right about this, so maybe I can research those parts and figure out how they're supposed to work. So it got me part of the way there. Got me thinking about a different approach that I wouldn't have thought of otherwise. But yeah, finally managed to raid me. It's okay. Hey, you say long time no see, but I'm like almost always seeing you. I'm just really quiet on your stream. And actually, for a couple of yesterday's streams that you had, my little chat avatar didn't show up, even though I was there and getting, yeah, I was pushing buttons and I was trying to get it to move and it never showed up on screen. It was weird. Yeah, I'm almost always lurking on your channel. But again, definitely feel free to take your break or whatever it is you're doing. Don't feel like you need to hang around and small talk unless you feel like it, because I am always happy to hear what it is that you were doing today. So if you guys don't know Simple, by the way, definitely want to do a clip from him. I love the look and feel of his game that he's working on. Which you can see in the top corner currently. Simple's thinking sword. Boom. I'm
Oh, correct.
I'm the one that's sitting under his face right in there. It cut off his clip before it finished because I only let the clips play for 30 seconds since I have the audio output and I record the video. Anyone who doesn't like Portal should move to Mars. So if you haven't already, his game is called Artificial. You can see a demo on Steam already, but feel free to wishlist it if it's your type of game. It is a physics-based puzzle platformer kind of with this awesome aesthetic. It's so good looking, made completely in Unity, and yeah, I don't know. I love it. I played the demo and it is fun. He also has things going on. He also has events going on in the demo where he hides some cubes, some companion cubes. These guys in the levels in the demo levels. And has this thing where if you find it, you let them know. There they are. Awesome. So yeah. And of course, Simple, you're always welcome to plug your own stuff. If there's more to it, if you want to put your Discord channel or anything, feel free to do so. Mi casa es su casa. Yeah. And he's just so cool. So much fun stuff. What were we doing though? We were getting this dialogue to show up, right? I think so. I think so. So we need to create this dialogue somehow. I like that Twitch coding streamers are one big community. Absolutely. Like I don't really have massive ties to the really big streamers. Um, people that I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but people like Irish John Games, Simple Game Dev, and coding Code Red Games, and all of this community. Thindle, Swameware, Deflux, all of us. Yeah, we form a pretty good community. Transaction history components? No, dialogue components. Where are my dialogue components? So like, oh, I did put it in transaction history. Okay. This one is called confirm delete transaction modal. And it's going to look just like a pending modal. No. Dang it. Well, I'll do it this way. .razor, and then I'll do Shift F2, pasta, get rid of .cs, and there we go. We now have a Blazor component that has a code behind file already attached to it, just like a magic. And we're going to grab the stuff. We won't need the edit form because we're just deleting. Is there a limit on how many modals you can have in the browser? As much as memory allows. Because modals for us are just UI elements. They aren't actual pop-ups like, separate windows. They're just HTML UI elements. You can do it. Oh my goodness. Is it because I have all of these other variables that we're not using at the moment? So one in Chrome. because there's no memory left after it. Oh my goodness. Yes and no. Are you gonna give me my modal now? No, still no. Goodness grievous. Let's just grab some of our code behind stuff that we're going to be using for this, which are we're going to have the transaction service and transaction state. You're going to give me a transaction that you're trying to modify. We do want show and show changed. We want, yeah, like I really should have this as a reusable component that I just changed the question. So we're going to do that here shortly once we create the shell of this modal, because we're going to turn that into our question modal, where we just change the title, change the text of the question, and then the OK and cancel buttons will be able to just tell it what we want those to say specifically. Ooh. Okay, there's a lot of. I shouldn't have started that one. Yeah. Gosh. Right. And you are an of T? No, we don't need you to be of T. Yes, we do. We need T to be a new where T is a class. It has a new, but we don't need new for this. We just need it to be an I transaction data entry view model. Yes. I know what I'm doing. Nobody saw that. Save. Okay, so that'll give us that. And then there was a private field that was our current response. So when we do this, this thing where we request the transaction entry service to delete, mark deleted the record that we have, then we will get a response model base back from it that will tell us whether it was successful or not. And that's how we're going to display errors. I don't know why we need that. Oh, we might need that. So I got this from the way that we display a transaction history record. This payee value here depends on the transaction type. And so it's like, you know what, you're probably going to need one of those. And I'm like, I don't. Might. Because what we're going to display in our confirm delete is here is the transaction information that you're trying to mark as deleted. Are you sure you want to do that? And it's pretty much going to be the same as what's already here. Which those errors should have gone. Oh, right. Hello, Yetimus. Konnichiwa. How are you? Are you doing well? Are you enjoying yourself? Type param t. Okay, so now it knows the code behind file belongs to it, and it should see these. Should see these. Dang it. Is it because it's not letting me do my using? You there. No, not you. You. So if I don't need to manually reference templated modal, which is Blazor UI shared components, modal components. That must mean that I already have it in here. It's right here. So what's wrong with you? Why don't you go to your phone? This is a public partial class. Confirm delete transaction modal at type param t. Are you going to build now? Yes. Okay. So it knows its code behind file now. So that means that you should be good as a component. What am I doing wrong? How do you find Blazor compared to something like MVC? I haven't managed to convince my company to try it yet. I love it more than MVC. So if you're already using .NET, then I strongly, strongly recommend using Blazor. Or converting over to Blazor, because you're able to do so much rich UI interaction very, very easily with Blazor. MVC is already structured in a way that is very much like a client side with an API controller. It's just that your controllers and your client are all being run on the server anyway. But you could pretty easily take all of your logic from your controllers, except for, generating the view, and put them into an API controller, and then have all of your view logic be in Blazor components, where you're mixing. They're essentially Razor markup as well. But you also have the added benefit of putting if statements that respond to the current values of variables. I just seem to be getting stuck on the thing. Why am I stuck? Public partial class, confirm toggle pending modal, where t is a. And then up here, type param t. That lets it know that this is the code behind for you. What if it's you? Is it the code behind file that's keeping this thing from... I don't think so. Are you in the right namespace? Find in man, Blazor UI components, transaction history components. Yes. You're named the right thing. No spelling errors. Confirm toggle pending modal. And you're just being a pain, that's all. Yeah, you can also switch to Razor Pages first, which is basically Blazor, just non-interactive, if your company doesn't want to hop over to the new tech yet. And I mean, MVC is still supported and it's still being developed on. So it's, yeah. I don't know. Going to Razor Pages, as long as you keep your controllers, that would make it easy to go to. Well, yeah, it depends on the Blazor flavor that you're wanting. I recommend using Wasm because you don't have to handle all of the UI loading. The persistent socket connection that you would have to do if you were a Blazor server. You're essentially offloading all of your UI stuff to the client just like you would if you were using JavaScript, except you're using C# instead of JavaScript. And Scott recommends Blazor Server over Wasm for new people. Okay. Okay, I'll allow it. But only this once. Oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? components, transaction history. I will take from you the confirm toggle, confirm delete transactions and .cs, and we will move it to my holder folder, named holder folder. C drive, dude, let me get there. C drive, repos, git, holder folder. Basta. Okay, move out of the way so I can read chat while I do this. Dang it. Rooting for Blazor United. Yes, absolutely. Using Blazor server first for initial load and then WASM in the background. That's going to be insane. I agree with you. 100 million, twilio%. New people suddenly add stuff to their code that's vulnerable. It can be an issue. True. So the good thing about Blazor server is if you are not used to writing code that is shipped to the client, and I mean even in your DLLs, so your compiled C# code behind files, those will be exposed to anyone that knows how to use ILSpy or any other kind of reverse engineer decompiler tool to read the code. So don't put vulnerabilities in your client-side code. Yeah. So I agree with you, Scott. I agree. Close. And these should be gone. And now I'm going to try to re-add this again, but I'm going to use the add new file dialog because it was being a pain. Confirm, delete transaction modal. And Lassamot said you want to make pen testers redundant. Give them work. Be nice to them. Open with Notepad. I want the code behind file first. Okay. Delete transaction modal razor CS. Okay. Are we good now? Are we still hangry? I think we're still hangry because I don't have type param t up here. Be nice to pen testers. Thumbs to that. All right, let's add our UI little by little. So I would like this, not that. I would like this. And there we go. Why did it pick up the closing tag but not the opening tag? You're so weird. I should have a show parameter in my code behind, which is right here. So why am I not getting syntax highlighting? Friend, help me out here. Tell us what you think about Maui Blazor Hybrid apps. You don't want me to tell you what I think about Maui Blazor Hybrid apps. There. My chicken quesadilla is on the way from Taco Bell. Man, it's been so long since I've had Taco Bell. I kind of swore it off for a little bit. Just trying to be better to myself. I loves me some Taco Bell though. Scott says, now I want to order food. Oh. Never had Taco Bell. We don't have that here, says Lassamot. Well, I don't know. I can't say that you're missing out. There are some things from Taco Bell that I have not tasted their flavor anywhere else, such as in the quesarito. Actually, it's mostly their zesty cheese sauce thing. Oh, it's so good. So good. And their nacho cheese Doritos Locos Tacos, or at least the shells. I miss the Cool Ranch shells though. They're so good. All right, next thing is you. And look, we have shared localizer now. Like a magic. And our next thing is the current response. Give it to me. Give this to me. What does it look like? Am I missing a closing modal? Content. I mean, that's kind of it. Yeah. Actually, is this exactly what the other one looks like? I think so. The only thing that you're missing is my error output. What happens when it breaks? Okay, so instead of mark pending, we need a new localization string that is called John pending or Brian pending. Why is it always got to be Mark? So we can track our stuff. What? So we can track stuff. Oh, wait, that's a continuation, not an answer to my question. With C# 11, you can make the financial management tracker generic because they add generic math stuff. Yeah, so the numbers kind of thing. Anything that implements iNumber, is that what you're talking about? So we can track stuff in our own made-up currencies and number systems. iNumber. Hi. Okay, so the name of this thing is going to be Mark deleted question. And it's going to be the same as Mark pending question, except, are you sure you want to delete this record? And then the record will be below. We also need the title. Confirm Mark deleted title. Delete the thing, question mark. Good enough, right? And so the reason that I am able to do this magic right here is because we have the localizations outputting code, doing code generation, which gives me a shared localizer service class with a whole bunch of static objects. And those static objects will give me the localized string depending on what my app's localization values are set to, as long as they are defined in these other dictionaries, which they're currently not, but that's okay. We're going to have a utility that'll help us do that, maybe. But otherwise, it just falls back to the value in this resx file, which is going to be all English. English. Okay. Are you sure you want to? And now how about some footer content? Thank you. I'm not sure I understand. DeepL is most accurate. Deep learning is most accurate? Or what? One tip that I have been given is for your, if you have any kinds of dialogues or modals or question thingies that pop up. Oh, DeepL is a translator. Awesome. I am keeping this for our future efforts to localize our strings. That is very helpful. Thank you so much. Where do I put it? I put it in programming. I'm going to put it in programming localization. Do I already have a localization information? No. Localization resources. Okay. Thank you so much. That is very, very helpful. I'm repeating myself now. Okay. What was I asking? I was asking a question. The tip is I wasn't asking a question. When you have any kind of dialogue or modal or something that pops up with action buttons, call the affirmative action the actual name of what you're going to do. So the verb action of what this process is going to do. So this is not a good example, but the statement is, are you sure you want to mark this transaction as pending? And the actions are remove, which should be something more like remove posted date or, but it should really be one word. Yeah, we'll come up with a better word for this. But in this case, once I fix the build errors by creating some methods, we're going to keep the same logic for handle cancel clicked. Which, because it's just a method, we're finally going to want to do that. And then we're going to have a method for delete transaction. That is not going to take any parameters. It's just going to do the do. And then we'll write the logic for that in the next video. So now that I have this much of it built up, I'm kind of like second guessing whether or not I should make this a question modal. I still think I want to. So let's do this real quick. Let's verify functionality for being able to make it display. It does too. Oh, we're on this one. Cool, there it goes. All right, we're good. We're gonna verify that it does display and that we can, I don't even have the UI for this thing anywhere, which is gonna be in our transaction history row, which is our base transaction row, which is going to be here, let's say. And I'll put it in here. So confirm, delete transaction modal, where T is T, transaction equals transaction, at bind show is going to be show confirm delete dialog, on confirm delete is going to be invoke status change. We'll find out if that's good for us or not. Okay, so now we should see it. Boop. Delete the thing. Are you sure you want to delete this transaction record? Here's the information for it. Cancel, dismisses it. Confirm, does nada. is correct. Okay, sorry, had to respond, not sorry. I needed to respond quickly to these emails because we have a release that is this close to being ready. Oh, so nice. We were ahead with all of the code changes, and so now we are on code freeze. And we're just getting testing back from various teams. One of them being the security team, another one being our accessibility testers, and yeah, so good. So much fun doing that flow most of the time. Where are we? We have the dialog that shows up. We can cancel out of it, and we need to, oh yeah, okay. So the next thing that I absolutely do want to do is the do, and that do is to create a reusable modal components, a reusable question, templated question dialog component dot razor. Are you going to cooperate this time? And let me just make sure that I didn't actually put it in the shared, because this one is going to be very specific to being a question. Good. Good. I don't know. Should I put this in shared? I think I should put this in shared. Let's put it in shared. What are you going to do? Okay, and what this is going to be is exactly the structure of the dialogues that we've been using, which is a templated modal. We'll get rid of the actual header, modal content. Modal footer will have the two buttons included, but on click will be handle confirm clicked and handle cancel clicked, which means that we're only giving it two. I don't know why there's text elements surrounding this, but we're only giving it two possible actions for our templated modal, our templated question modal. But templated question modal can also be used as just a regular show up a screen with an OK button. So kind of a message box, I think is what those are called. But let's get some code behind. Templated question dialog razor CS. Make it a public partial class. We need show parameters, show change. We still want these modal header footer content, but we're going to call them something different. Wait, what was all that? Was that my usual? What if we did them as questions? Or as strings? The title, well, because I need them to be rendered content, render fragments. That's why. And they can no longer be string.empties. title content, question content, and then we're going to have stock confirm button text, confirm, cancel button text. We're going to have a confirm and cancel CSS classes. Oops. And we're going to have a confirm cancel disabled. And we're also going to have, and those are going to be bools. Oops. Bool. And we are also going to have show confirm button, show cancel button. So CSS disabled. Nice. Let's just fix that real quick. These two are going to be visible. Is actually what I'm going to call them, so that we can keep them in next to each other. They don't have XML tags. So sad. Then we have show change, on confirm clicked, on cancel clicked, handle confirm clicked, yes. Handle cancel clicked, yes. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Are you going to tell me we should do... Oh, you're telling me we need a full prop? Or that we've been doing full props for other things? I don't think so. I don't think so, kid. Nice try. Okay, so then that gives us this. Does that mean our shared component library does not have local... Oh, duh, that doesn't matter because we're just going to output what we have for these two parameters. And these two are not going to be stock. They're going to be paste this just to make it easier. CSS classes. There we go. Oh. Right. I don't have additional CSS classes. Interesting. We'll get to that. Not too worried about it. If I'm not using it anywhere else, I'm not going to use it here. So this is going to be modal or header content, title content. It's going to be question content. And we're going to make them, we're going to make at least title nullable. So if title excuse me, control spacebar. If title content is null, is not null, then we can show the header. Otherwise, hide the header. Why exactly are you angry though? I've done this before. You shouldn't have any issues with having C# as the child content. You know what? I don't want to fight it right now, so we're just going to require. The issue with putting it inside of the modal header would be that the modal header does still have structure. So, you know what we might can do? Wait, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. We could do this. Modal header equals title content, because I forgot that I was just using them as render fragments in the actual modal itself. So get rid of that and make you nullable. Then question content will also be a parameter that we can set. Oop, modal content. Yeah, I'm really bad at that. Thank you for catching it though. Possible null. It's nullable, and so is the thing that I'm assigning it to. It's also nullable. This is okay. This thing is nullable. You're nullable. Everyone's happy. Why can't you be happy? Anyway, so then that changes this to be a templated question dialog, which I'm not really saving anything, am I? Because now we have title content instead of modal header. And then we have question content. But the thing that we do get rid of is the footer. So I guess I'm kind of saving on that. But in place of that, we are, show dismiss. Okay. In place of that, we're going to use the parameters up here. So we're going to have show, nope, we're going to have confirm button. Yeah, we'll do it in order. Confirm button class. Why aren't you staying tabbed over? Confirm button text, and then confirm button disabled, and then confirm button unconfirm clicked, and then the same for cancel, cancel, cancel. We're going to use this here, pasta, and what am I looking for? Classes. Button, button primary, transaction, doing it in the same order. And cancel clicked. And button, button secondary. I do. See? No chair. I'm also wearing a blanket because my feet are frozen. Tell me, tell me, tell me. So yeah, I mean, I guess we saved some amount of code, but it kind of looks like we made it a little bit harder to use as well. Like if title content, I only did title. Yeah, let's do this then. But what if I want my title not to be in a H3 eventually? Because I was going to say we can just do title text and then save this subcomponent or render fragment. Whatever, I'm leaving it. Back to confirm pending, confirm toggle pending. And you're going to get the same treatment. Templated question dialog. Pasta. Spacey. And then you need remove. So we get some logic for you. Confirm button text is going to be $, quotation mark, parentheses. Why are you so ugly right now? Is render fragment what's between component start and component end? So a render fragment is a struct that essentially, or it's a function. It's a function? It's a function, right? Where you at, render fragment? Here we go. A delegate. So it's a method delegate that uses a builder. So it gets a builder for free. So it doesn't have to be part of anything. So var, it could just be its own thing. Render fragment this. Nope. Tis. Tis equals builder or arrows. Oh gosh. So brainular. Builder arrows. So since it's a method delegate, I'm giving it a method. And that method is a builder that is a render tree builder. And you're pretty much giving this builder instructions on how to construct a component using C# code. The alternative to this is using HTML. And so anything that you see that's Razor markup is essentially a render fragment. And render fragments know how to output their structure as rendered HTML. So in this case, yes, because I'm using these as parameters on a component, everything between this opening tag and this closing tag represents the render fragment for the title content. So the render tree builder here will be open element h3, that element dot add content, whatever is in here, close element, written as lm builder open element h3 builder add content, whatever that content for the localization string was. Oh, and we want to keep this, I don't know what it's called. It's like a marker. It's a thing that gives this element a specific position in the render tree. And so you can set that manually, but typically you just want to keep incrementing it for each step in this. And then you always want to close any elements that are opened. And so if we try to render this in here, we just do the @ symbol and then we output that render content, which is in a completely different file, so it's not going to exist here. But you know what I mean. So this will take those instructions, turn it into HTML, and then render the HTML. Ready. I I see a lot of use cases for it. For example, in our base transactions, our base transaction is of type T. And so depending on, um, oh, and it's also abstract, I think. These are abstract, right? Yeah. So it's an abstract partial class. Um, when I want to render a row, I want it to use the same structure. So you can't really, how do I put this? You can't really make a component an abstract component without code behind. Oh gosh, that's terrible wording. Let's say that I have a transaction row that doesn't follow this pattern. I want the ability to override how that transaction outputs as a row. So if I have a new transaction type that does not output like this, then I can override render row for my new transaction type. Did that one make sense? Hmm. So I could just leave this as abstract and say that whoever inherits this must implement render row. And the reason for that is because I am not directly putting base transaction row anywhere. Instead, I am calling the render row from base transaction row. So I don't have to retype it in every single component that inherits base transaction row. Hmm. But yeah, because right now all of my transactions follow this same pattern, I didn't want to rewrite the thing every time. The issue is that because I'm using a generic on it and I'm trying to output a specific transaction type, then my implemented transaction rows, for example, my transfers, are of that specific type. And then when I render row, I'm rendering a transfer row. So the usage of this is when I am printing out my stuff in history, I'm finding out what kind of transaction is this, and then I'm using that specific row type to be output. Yeah. That was hard. It's really hard to explain this one because generics are involved. But think of maybe making a card, a card, a card. Here, this one will be a good example. Will it be a good example? It doesn't look like it's going to be a good example. My child content is my render fragment. And for my actual card itself, the child content is any combination of these, but I am expecting to have. Why does my card look so weird? My card just looks weird. This is not a good example because I didn't implement it the same way that the other card is. I don't have a good answer for you. I just know that there are times when you're going to want to make a HTML content in code behind. Definitely need render fragment for generic HTML content inside of whatever it is that you are making as your component. But if this content has a generic structure that you want to default it to, then you can do that here as well. Oh, my blanket's falling off. Bye, blanket. Whatever. Just go around my feet. I don't have a good answer for you. I just know that I've needed to use render fragments in code behind for mostly in cases of using generic components where it can be one of any number of implementations of that abstract class or generic of T. Where are we though? We're in Canada. A. Confirm delete. Oh, we were revamping the confirm toggle pending modal to use templated question, which has this if statement logic to determine which value to use. It's an extension, the control tab. I'm just using control tab, and then you can use arrow keys to navigate around, or more control tab, control shift tab, or just use your mouse. You're like, I want it to be back here. Yeah, control tab. And then the confirm is going to be toggle pending equals true. Button primary. Cancel clicked is going to be handle cancel clicked, which is already there. Need a quotation mark, please. Just one. Just once. Absolutely. And our title header, title content, and our question content. Mochiron. Mochiron desu. No. Or yes. Yes and no. In the little sprocket for however you have your tab set up, you can either do them across the top, on the right, on the left, doesn't matter. You can colorize them by project here. The only time that you can group by project is when it's on the left or right. And I love having mine grouped by project, and I do love having the vertical tabs because a lot of times I do just collapse my Solution Explorer when I'm working in specific files. And then I am like, I have a focused Solution Explorer, essentially. Cool. So it doesn't look like I broke anything. And we should now have the confirm delete transaction somewhere dialog that says delete the thing. Are you sure you want to? Cancel works. Delete doesn't work yet. It does currently dismiss. Why does it dismiss? Confirm delete. On confirm delete is delete transaction, which should only delete transaction. Okay, so the reason that it, oh yeah, that's bad. The reason that it automatically dismissed when I push delete is because part of the logic for our new templated question dialog is to show equals false. But that's not what we want to do, because there is a chance that we don't want to dismiss the window when we click on the confirm button in the event that something failed. So we want the window to stay showing so we can display the error. Is a semicolon at the end intentional of, I'm assuming, one of these imports? These up here, for example? It is because I used the refactor functionality. Yeah, both do work, but I prefer not to. Oh, this one is because this is code behind. This is that whole render fragment thing that I was talking about, where I'm using the render tree builder. So this is C# code. I'm just switching to HTML to output the render fragment. But yeah, so we are one step closer where all we have to do is get the actual delete functionality to work. And if that delete functionality does not work, then I'll go cry. But once we get that one to work, then it should be just as easy to do the edit version of this, which edit is essentially going to take whichever of these components, data entry components, stuff it inside of a templated dialog, and then have the submit button or cancel, which could just be another templated question dialog with submit and cancel for the editing functionality. So we're getting pretty close to having our edit functionality added, but we're gonna have to continue that in the next video. If you guys don't know Sven, who is a Let's Play player many moons ago on the YouTubes, you definitely need to check him out. He's a really cool guy. I'm missing. I need to be showing. This is me. I'm gonna add image, AI generated image to this scene somewhere. Go up here. So that we could see the beautiful AI generated image. So soon enough, I will have my Automated Realms logo, because I finally decided to reach out to a graphics designer and see if we can get some help designing the logo for Automated Realms. But yeah, we'll get it up there. But this right here, just so you know, is an AI generated image where I told it I wanted it to make a forest fairy festival. I can't think of another F word. Well, I can think of a lot of F words. Scene. And yeah, so it created this for me. A festival for fairies at night in their mushroom and tree habitat dwelling place. And it's pretty. So anyway, AI is getting scary. I'm enjoying it. I really, 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 really do like where it's going. And I think it's going to be a fun tool. It's actually stable diffusion. Invoke AI is good too, as well. Also, the other one that I was using is something called it's one that sounds like it should be a programming one. Comfy UI. Yeah, Invoke AI uses stable diffusion models as well. I know. I just ended up going with automatic 1111 implementation because that's the first one that I saw, and it was really easy. Well, it was kind of difficult to set up, but it's really easy to use now that I've gotten the hang of it. But Comfy UI is a node-based way to generate images, and you get a lot more control, and it's really hard for me to use. So I'll figure it out one day and make some really, really complex images too. Anyway, that's it for me for now. I'm going to hop over to Twitch, which I have not been lurking on today yet because just busyness. We're going to head over to Finite. It's been a while since we've seen them. /raid Finite, if I can spell his name right, Finite Singularity. Finite Singularity. Yes. Okay. Hopefully I typed his name right. Otherwise, we're going to be rating nobody. And if you feel like it, please feel free to hang out with us as we head on over to Finite's channel. He is mostly doing JavaScript development, but he's doing a lot of really cool effects for OBS for streaming. And yeah, thank you, Master F, for hanging out. Otherwise, if you don't feel like hanging out, I'll see you whenever you come back around. And yeah, we'll chill during that time. I will be posting this video to the YouTube's channel no sooner than 24 hours after I end the stream. Feel free to hop into our Discord. JavaScript, yeah, I'll see you next time. I understand the sentiment. Feel free to hop into our Discord. If you have questions, if you want to provide answers to people that have questions, if you just want to hang out with some really cool people, then definitely feel free to join our Discord. Even those of you watching in the future might still be around. Just hop into our Discord. All right, that's it for me. Ciao for now. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you on Friday for Community Day, for those of you that will show up.